This video provides some academic advising advice based on your current year at USD. First-year students who have between 0 and 29 units should be taking Psych 101, Introductory Psychology, and Psych 260, Statistics. Please note that Psych 260 requires a Math 115 or higher placement score or a course Math 115 or higher as a prereq. Students who are in their first year should fill the rest of their schedules with core classes or perhaps exploring different areas of interest that they might minor in, or maybe starting on their pre-health coursework. You can still attend psychology club meetings. We invite all students to attend events, even if they're not yet a declared major. First-year students can declare their major after April 15th of their first year. Students have sophomore status as soon as they earn 30 or more units. Psychology sophomores should take Psych 300 Research Methods. Statistics is a prerequisite for this class, so if you haven't yet taken statistics by sophomore year, you should do that first. You can take Psych 300 as a first semester sophomore, even though it is an upper division course number. Usually you need 45 units to take upper division courses, but Psych 300 is coded so that first semester sophomores can register. That is, when you have 30 or more units counting your in-progress courses, when you register, you can register to take Psych 300 the next semester. When you have second semester sophomore status, that is more than 45 units counting the in-progress units when you register, you can register to take upper division psych courses numbered 301 or higher. Some of these classes do have Psych 300 as a prerequisite, so check this before you attempt to register for upper division courses. It's suggested that you would take 1 or 2 upper division psychology courses the spring of your sophomore year, that is as second semester sophomore status. This is sometimes one of the hardest semesters to register for as a psychology major because psychology is popular, so many of the upper division courses will fill with junior or senior students. We do not have a lot of lower division coursework in the psychology major, so you are often done with a lot of your core requirements. So this is a great semester to consider a potential minor and start taking classes in other areas that are of interest to you. Remember that the psychology major and the core curriculum does not add to graduation. There's a third bucket of classes of general electives or a minor or pre-health requirements that you will need in order to get to 124 units. So now is a great time to start thinking about other types of things that you are interested in, to learn some content or skills that might be helpful for when you graduate, depending on what type of career you're interested in. If you're interested in studying abroad, you should talk to the International Center to get set up to do that, perhaps as a junior. And if you're interested in going to graduate school, your second year is a good time to start thinking about potentially an internship or research experiences that you could plan for your junior year. Students earn junior status when they have completed 60 or more units. In your junior year, psychology majors should take 2 upper division psychology courses per semester. This keeps you on track to graduate in 4 years. If you have extra room in your schedule because you have completed most of your core requirements, you should think about a minor. Perhaps there's another area or discipline you are interested in, and you have room to add a minor to your schedule. If you're interested in graduate school, you can start experiential activities like internships or research experiences if you haven't already. Our department webpage has a tab for internships and a tab for research experiences, where you can learn more about what the department has to offer. Students earn senior status when they have completed more than 90 units. Your senior year at USD, you should take 2 to 3 upper division psychology courses per semester. Once you reach 90 units, you also need to fill out your petition to graduate, which will show up in the senior tab of your My San Diego portal once you have completed 90 units. There's a petition to graduate hold that will be on your registration for your next semester if you don't fill out this petition to graduate form. Your senior year, you also take a capstone class in the major. This is Psych 495 or Psych 497. These courses both satisfy your advanced writing and critical thinking requirements in the core curriculum as well. Your last semester at USD, you should also register for Psych 492, the major field exam. This is not to be confused with the Compass Senior Exit Survey, which is a different requirement for graduation. You register for Psych 492 during your last semester at USD. It has no meeting times and it has no units. It is simply an ungraded exam and survey that is administered online for department assessment purposes. Once you register for the class, you will then receive information through the Canvas site about how to fulfill the requirement in the last month of the semester. You also need to keep in mind the residency requirement. This is the idea that your last year of classes should be taken at USD, your last 30 units. If you try to transfer in courses after you have reached senior status, you will also need to have a waiver of residency form approved. This form is located on the transfer articulation section of the My San Diego portal, and once you complete it, you can send it to psychology to initiate the approval process. Another way to answer the question of when can I graduate is to check your DegreeWorks audit. You can graduate when you have satisfied all of the requirements that are listed. These either need to be checked off green, which means completed, or blue, which means in progress. If you have any red, orangish circles in your audit down the left side, this indicates a requirement that is not being satisfied by your prior completed courses or by your current in progress or courses you've registered for the next semester. In order to graduate, all of these circles have to be blue or green. If you see any red circles, you are not going to be issued a diploma because you haven't satisfied a particular graduation requirement. This includes 124 units, 48 upper division units, a 2.0 GPA overall, the Compass program, core requirements, major requirements, and a 2.0 GPA in your major, plus any other minor or double major requirements. The Compass program will be satisfied once you complete all of the Compass points, including your senior exit survey. This is usually checked off within a couple of weeks after completing the survey. Psych 492 is a requirement in the psychology major, and this is a class you must register for in your last semester at USD. You will receive information about how to complete the course requirements, which is a survey, in the last month of that semester. Once you complete this survey, you will pass the class, but the grade will not be entered until grades are due at the end of the semester. But remember, you need to register for Psych 492 or you will not receive information about how to complete this course. If you look at your audit and you think you have taken a class that should fulfill a major requirement, but is not listed this way in your audit, you can contact your psychology advisor. If there really is an error in your audit, they can help you correct it. Or if there's an error, you think there's an error in a core requirement or somewhere else, a major, double major, or minor, they can direct you to who can help answer your question. If you have any second major or minor requirements you have decided not to complete, then you need to use a declaration of major form to remove that major or minor from your audit. You don't want to change the catalog year when you do this. Keep your current year, whatever you've declared under. If you change your catalog year, the psychology major might change, or the core major, the core requirements might change. You're graduating, you don't want to do that. You simply want to remove a major or minor that you've decided not to complete. If it's not checked off green, then the registrar's office will assume you are going to come back and complete those requirements the next semester, and they won't issue your diploma. So make sure you've removed any minors that you've decided not to complete before graduation. Once all of your DegreeWorks shows blue or green, that means you will graduate after you complete all of those classes. Now, I will note that sometimes the circles at the top, there's completion circles that go to 100%. Sometimes those don't say 100% until after you've completed all of the units. So don't worry if those numbers don't say 100%. Just look for the red circles down your audit. If everything is blue and green, then you've satisfied the requirements for graduation.